What's up, guys? Hey, Jared Beckstrand here, Doctor of Physical Therapy, ToneAndTitan.com, and these are the best exercises to strengthen and stabilize your knee, part 1. Let's get into them right now. All right, you guys. Hey, thank you so much for joining me today here on Tone and Titan. Let's talk about your knees today. I hope that what I share maybe helps you to feel better, helps you out of some of the pain that you might be experiencing. If you do like this video, do me a favor and like this video. Hit that thumbs up button down below. Also, if you haven't done so already, hit that red button in the corner to subscribe to Tone and Titan right here on YouTube. Okay, so let's talk about knee pain. So I've been getting some requests from you guys lately. Some of the comments that you've been leaving in my video say, hey, my knees hurt. What can I do about my knee pain? What are some exercises for my knee pain? Things of that nature. I thought that's a great topic for a video. Started writing down a few of my favorite exercises, and before I knew it, that list was like 12 exercises long. I decided to break that up into 2 parts. And so you kind of get phase 1 here. We're going to go over about 5 exercises, and then you get phase 2 in a later video that are a little bit more aggressive. So this is kind of the beginner phase 1. Hopefully you can progress into some of those phase 2 exercises. If you're looking for maybe a little bit more aggressive exercises, check the link down below for the link to that phase 2 video. So, okay, let's get into this. When we talk about the knee and when we talk about strengthening the knee, I tell people, you know, the knee is a pretty dumb joint. Like if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, like your knee flexes and it extends, and that's about all that you get. And so really when we talk about strengthening the knee joint, we talk about quads. There's 4 quad muscles. We talk about the 3 hamstring muscles. And then you also get one of your calf muscles that actually crosses that knee joint that contributes to knee flexion. So really, it's those 3 muscles that we have to train. However, when we talk about stability of the knee joint and when we talk about where the knee joint is in space and the biomechanics of the knee joint and why your knee is painful, it's actually your hips and your ankles have more of a role in where your knee goes. For example, I think you guys can see that. Let me check my camera here. So you couldn't see that. Quick camera angle change. And so while the knee only flexes and extends, it's actually the hip and the ankle joint that are going to control where that knee flexes and extends. So not only do we want to strengthen the knee joint, but we also want to strengthen and stabilize the hip and the ankle joints in order to put that knee in a better alignment. So we're going to look at the muscles of the knee, quads, hamstrings, and then some hip strengthening as well. I've got 5. They're coming your way right now. Our first exercise is fairly simple, but very important. It's an isometric contraction of the quads, or a quad set. Simply put, you're going to sit with your leg out straight in front of you, and then you're going to contract your quad muscle. So this one right here, if I fire that, I hope that you guys can see that, and then if I relax it. What I tell people is, as you're sitting, try to push your knee down into the floor, down into the mat, whatever it is that you're sitting on. So you're going to fire that quad, push, 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 hold for about a 3 to 5 second count, and then relax. It's a really simple exercise, but it's really important. More of like a neural component to it, basically establishing a mind-muscle connection to that muscle so that we can fire it voluntarily as needed. And so that's exercise number 1, quad set. So I'll typically tell people to perform about 10 reps of about 3 to 5 second holds. If that feels good, feel free to do 20. If that still feels good, do 30. So up to 3 sets of 10, 5-second holds on that quad set. Next one, we're going to take that a step further. So that's a great way to fire the quad. One of those quads, well, a part of one of those quads, serves to flex the hip. And so we add hip flexion to that quad set to make that contraction even better. And so that's going to be a straight leg raise. Your first step is to perform that quad set. So hit that quad set, contract that quad, knee goes down into the floor. And then what you're going to do helps to sit back just a little bit. So quad set, and then we're going to raise that leg, about a foot or so, about maybe 12 inches up off of the table, and then right back down. And so quad set, so we're going to fire that, raise about 12 inches, and then right back down. You've got to be able to maintain that quad contraction. So meaning I want your knee to be as straight as possible. Sometimes people will do this, they have what they call a lag to it. So they'll start to raise and then the leg will come up. You'll see that that's a lot different. I want you to set that quad, fire that, and then I want you to lift that whole straight leg raise up off of the table. So fire it, lift the whole leg up, and then right back down. Same thing applies here, shoot for 10. If 10 feels good, 2 sets of 10, and even up to 3 sets of 10 on these straight leg raises will be good. Okay, cool. Next, let's introduce a little bit of bend into the knee. To do that, I'm going to perform what we call a short arc quad. I've got a foam roll here under my knee. If you have a foam roll, that works great. If not, you can double up a pillow or a blanket or a towel or things like that just to slip underneath your knee. All work well. So there's a little bit of bend in my knee, 10, maybe 15 degrees. Now what I'm going to do is fire that quad muscle to straighten my leg out. You'll notice that my knee did not come up off of the foam roll. Basically, I'm just using these quad muscles to straighten my knee from that short arc, or from that 10 to 15 degrees of flexion all the way to straight. So it's this small motion, but your focus is right here on that quad muscle, getting that to fire, getting that to contract. Nice and slow up, nice and slow down. You're gonna do a set of 10 of those. If one set of 10 feels good, do 20. If that feels good, up to about 30 reps on that one. If you need more of a challenge, you can always put a small ankle weight on the end of down on your ankle, or perform more repetitions. And so there's your short arc quads. Next, so we've done a lot for your quad. Let's get into your hamstrings and your hips. To do that, I like to do bridges. So I'm gonna slide right down here. Lay on your back with your knees bent. Now what we're gonna do is contract the glutes, contract the hamstrings to lift our hips up towards the ceiling. So I'm laying down flat, glute squeeze, hamstrings contract, hold 2, 3, and then come right back down. So up, hold for about a 3-second count, and then come right back down. The focus, again, is smashing my butt together and squeezing my hamstring muscles while I'm up in this bridge. Perform 10 of them. If 10 feels good, we'll go up to 20, up to 30. So up to about 3 sets of 10. When that becomes easy, the maybe slightly more advanced version of this would be to get into even some single leg bridges. I'm going to extend my left leg out, and now I'm just using my right hip and my right hamstring to lift my hips up off of the ground, to lift my pelvis up off of the ground. A little bit more aggressive, requires a little bit more muscle control, a little bit more muscle contraction. It might be something that you have to work up into, but that's a great way to get the glutes and the hamstrings firing, up to 3 sets of 10 on those bridges. Finally, we talked at the beginning of the video about hip strength and its role in stabilizing the knee. And so one of the primary muscle groups that I want to strengthen are those lateral hip muscles, or the hip abductors. To do that, you're going to lay down on your side. Right now I'm on my left side to work my right leg. Left leg is bent, right leg is out straight. From this position, what I'm going to do is contract the muscles kind of behind my hip, right here, like right on the side of my glutes, to raise that leg up towards the ceiling, and then right back down. So it looks just like that. I tell people to lead with your heel, and so if you're leading with your toe, you're probably contracting the wrong muscle. Try to lead with your heel, and then don't just pull it straight up, but pull it up and back behind you. So it actually looks a little bit more like that. I'm pulling up and back as I'm performing that leg lift to the side. Again, that's called a side-lying abduction. I tell people perform 10 of those. If 10 feels good, perform 2 sets. And if 2 sets of 10 feels good, perform 3 sets of 10 on that one. All right, you guys, so there you have them, 5 great exercises to strengthen and start to stabilize that knee joint. Again, this is kind of phase 1 for beginners. If you're looking for more exercises, be sure to click on phase 2. Check out the description down below to see those.